Money Buckets podcast. This is the podcast where we dig into how to get money in a million ways. So I wrote a short list off the top of my head. We've got government loans. There are different types of programs. Bank lending, angel investment, VC investment, and how do those networks work? What is the state of angel investing right now? Private family offices. There are public trading leverages that you can build into. There's boutique private equity firms. There's SaaS subscription lending. There is invoice factoring. There's probably guidance on family loans. Like what if just Uncle Billy wants to give you a loan, but you both kind of feel weird about it. You need some information to kind of like broker that between you and your family. There's real estate lending programs. There's vehicle loans. There's grants and bonds from government. There's basically all these insider paths. And in any one of these industries, how to get capital is also like a protected thing. But then people within the industry get extremely confident in like, oh yeah, when we get there, we'll get $10 million. Mm-hmm. You see it all the time and you're like, damn, he's got a big dick or something. Like, why does that guy just believe that he's going to get 10 million when he needs it? It's because he knows something you don't know. He knows the incentives in the industry of how money transfers and why. So I actually think this podcast could take on insider guests who just want to talk, because they're not really giving away anything that's actually secret. It's just, well, this is how funding works in our sector.
Okay, I want to stop you there. So if I want to buy a house, I go listen to a podcast on buying a house, right? If I want to learn how to...
No, you listen to our episodes.
Yeah, well, I listen to our experts that we talk to. We have several of those. But you're saying the one-stop shop of this is how you get money for all these different angles.
Correct.
And it would have to involve the interplay between
guests.
them. Yeah. It would have to involve the interplay in between them, saying this is how you do it this way. But also, you could go this direction. Because there is the big problem I always run into is like, I could go that direction, but this podcast isn't covering the alternative option and what could be better suited for this circumstance. I like it. I really
think
like
about
it.
how easy. So the number one advertisement. So like one way to index how much money is paid out in ad revenues in certain industries is just to go to Google and go to some keywords and key phrases and start to bid for phrases. So let's say I want to bid for get a credit card. It is a pretty expensive bid. Mm-hmm. Why? Because someone else is willing to pay Google quite a bit of money for that person's eyeballs. Lots of people are. Okay, Same thing with home mortgages, home loans. So sometimes when you Google something, 8 of the 10 search results will be ads because Google is just making tons of money from the people who will play. Those types of lenders and money providers and liquidity providers, they are what I would call like a no vision or low vision stuffy business. They do not have an easy path to market to get more customers unless they just go buy ad space and earn trust and they're the right place, right time, which is why we all still get solicitation offers in our mailboxes in physical snail mail, because they're just hoping that 1 month when you're in a tough spot, that'll be the month that you take their cash advance. That's how much it's worth it to these lenders to get your attention. That tells me there is tons of capital in the marketing budgets of all those people to pay for a well-attended podcast, a well-listened to podcast in their sector. But you also could be fair. You could spread it across all these different types.
Bro, you would monetize it really well. A lot of
really
people
easy.
spend tons of money on that, right? If we assume, and I think this is a safe assumption, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but on every company, half of their budget is sales and marketing. Like they're putting money right there.
Mm-hmm. Any
half,
growth,
it's a generous
any growth
portion.
company, modern tech-based growth companies put put something like 40 to 60% of their budget into sales and marketing, which includes salaries. So, but it's just an easy way to understand like
that there's budget for this and people will pay to put ears in that direction.
And it's not hard to get like the revenues of a company either. So you could look up a company and go, like you could just Google a lot of companies and there will be some news article, press release, something that tells you roughly like customer count and how much customers pay, and they'll estimate revenue. Well, then you can look at, on LinkedIn, they put 55% of their headcount into sales and marketing.
Yeah.
And you can just get to like, they're dropping $38 million roughly a year on sales and marketing. So,
well, Kendall, I like this idea so much. Should we do it? Should we do this with our
time
podcast?
next week? Money Buckets.
We're changing.
Welcome back to another episode.